try to avoid. Okay, this is the overall M. This is a string. Say the preparation for JEE Advance is what, like a teacher should discuss more different methods. Then what happens, you'll be in a little bit comfortable position. You'll get a confident. Then with that confidence, what happens, you can manage exams. Then once you start getting marks, what happens, you feel like as you know many things, then you start thinking creatively. Okay, get this one. Then you'll enter into IT. Since you have confidence, then there some changes will come, and gradually you'll become a super engineer. There's a one alternative method is what in our education system available. Anybody can grow in science. It's not that something intellectual only. Probably you should follow that particular thing, that one. So if a teacher, because at your level, I feel like you should permit teacher to introduce you more ideas. Then you multiply that ideas. Once you come revision program, I'll not disturb you. In revision program, I'll give assignment. I'll ask you to think on this. Okay, no. There is something is telling no relative motion between the blocks. Is it possible? Blocks cannot move? Yes, no. I'll apply force. This is the external force. Then, because of this, the wedge will accelerate, and it's telling there is no relative motion. So all the wedge, everything will have same acceleration. Then with respect to in the wedge frame, if you do it, if you do this problem in the wedge frame, a pseudo force will act, ME. Then the tension is balanced by pseudo force. Here tension, here this tension. Then the pseudo force on the block, this 2ME. This pseudo force will press the block 2M, and because of that, we'll get a normal contact, call N1, and on the wedge, it will be N1. 7 mg, this is N2, here N3. Okay, all these are the resultant forces acting. Then what is the net external force acting on the system? It's only the applied force. If you see in the ground frame, there's only force which is acting on the system. Remaining all will become internal, no? This tension, this will become internal. Here the tension, and this normal N1, N1. So remaining all will become internal. So therefore, you do one thing, break up individually if you want. F external, what force acting on the pulley is also acting on the wedge, T minus N1 equal to 7M into E. Then what is N1? This is what in the ground frame you are writing. In the wedge frame. In the wedge frame, what when you are standing on the wedge, then you say that the pseudo force will balance the tension. And again in the ground frame, what is one more equation you write? T minus 2mg equal to 0. Then one more equation here, N1 minus 2ma equals 0. So these are the set of equations you write it. Or directly in the ground frame, you can write equation. What is the only force acting on the system? Applied force. Mass of the system, 10m. Let it into acceleration. So how to calculate that acceleration, or substitute all the values t, substitute this N1. So t should be equal to ma you substitute, and N1 equal to 2ma. So then F external. So this equation 1, 2, 3. Put 2, 3 in 1 equal to ma minus 2ma equal to 7ma. but we don't know this external force itself. No, it didn't give that force itself. So how to bring that power? Okay, let's take help of this tension. Let me equate equation 2 and 4. From 2 and 4, ma minus 2mg. So what is the acceleration equal to 2g? So substituting this, the equation 5, the equation 6. Put 6 in 5. So F external is equal to 10m. Acceleration is how much? 2g. So how much it is? 20 mg is what external force that is being applied. He's asking to calculate find the average power applied by the external force on the system in an interval of time t naught. Initially, the system is at rest, and the moment I apply force, the value of force is such that the blocks will be at rest related to wedge. This is the overall condition. So therefore, what is the velocity acquired by it? Don't disturb somebody. Somebody mute it. Please mute it. Chaitanya Agarwal, please mute it. Okay, no. So this is the expression for what is the velocity of this should be equal to a by velocity equal to at, will write it. Velocity speed of the block because constant acceleration. So this will become 2gt. So then what is the expression for power? Power is equal to F external into V. So 20 mg into V, 20 mg. So what is V equal to? 2gt. Then further proceeding, this will be 40. If you want value of G also, you can substitute here. So this is the expression for the instant power. What is the average power? P dt interval of time is given t naught. So this will be 0 to dt, that one. So take this much. So this you substitute here for 40 mg square t dt 0 to t naught. Integral of dt will be t, substituting upper limit t naught, will get this one. So this simplification of this will be 40 mg square So what is the average power? G square, I think 20 it will come. 20 mg square T naught. This average power delivered by it in this one. So what is work done by the external force means change in kinetic energy in that interval of time. So already I told you like how to get the work done, another alternative method. So like this, they can bring some system. They can bring some wedge block system. They may ask you about some sort of powers one. So you have to be very careful. In books open, we have maximum everything about some power is acting, power as a function of time, power as a function of distance, constant power, etc. But these are the real problems what you may encounter, and you have to be careful. So just I took help of the laws of motion ideas. The blocks will not move with respect to wedge. So therefore, we will balance the weight, we will balance this 2 mg, the tension. Then as the blocks will move with the wedge means we will balance this tension, the pseudo force. So therefore, this acceleration should be equal to 2g. The acceleration of the system should be equal to 2g. That is. So then get expression for the force acting, because he didn't say what is the force. If I said force, we would have matter, no? So that force first we have to calculate. That one. So we got expression for force here. Then what is the power? Power equal to external force acting into the velocity of the system. Then rest all mathematics. From here again mathematics. Power as a function of time, I have to calculate average power in interval of time 0 to t naught. Now, so some words, no, mechanical power dissipated. So shall I say that power experience, or the power generated, or power like a power acting by the friction. What is the frictional force? So, like if you see this one, no, we write like this: frictional force or penny. Can it generate power, or it should be always a dissipative power? Because whenever friction comes, so friction always does negative work. Will you justify? Friction always does negative. No, it can do positive work. No. So friction can generate power also. Though it's a dissipative power, it can generate. Because we took examples where the friction was doing negative work. So therefore, we just call it as a dissipative power. It need not know. You take some block upon a block, you apply force on the lower block. Who will move the upper block? The friction only does positive work. So if a friction does positive work, it will generate power. If friction does negative work, it will dissipate power. So again, don't make the friction will always like a lead to a dissipative power. The option will be wrong, because friction can do positive or negative work. Same thing also, friction can generate positive, friction can generate power or can dissipate power. I think in